Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we will discuss how to find molecular formula. Molecular formula is a formula in which it tells you the actual number of atoms present in the molecule. To find the molecular formula, you need two things, which one of which is empirical formula and MR. These two things are required to find the molecular formula. Step 1 to find the molecular formula is to determine the empirical formula mass. The empirical formula would be given in the part A, and the molecular formula would be asked to find in part B. Now, step 2 is to use this formula given. You have to memorize this formula. This formula won't be given in the exam, and it is moles equals to molecular mass divided by empirical mass. The empirical formula would be given in part A, and you have to calculate the formula mass and divided by the MR or molecular mass, which would be given in part B. Then the step 3 is to multiply the empirical formula by the number of moles which you found in this step 2 using this formula. Let's look at an example to have a better understanding of how to find the molecular formula. This is example from this paper. So this is the part B of that question. Or suppose in part A you were asked to find the empirical formula of certain molecules such as carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So the empirical formula you got was C2 CH2O. This was the empirical formula you found in part A. Now, using this empirical formula, you have to find the molecular formula. The molecular mass of the compound X. This was a compound X empirical of which empirical formula you found in part A. Now, this compound's molecular mass is 180, and you have to find its molecular formula. So, by doing by using those three steps I told you previously. Step 1, you have to determine the empirical formula mass. The empirical formula mass for CH2O would be carbon, have the mass 12, hydrogen have mass 1, and here is 2, so we have to write 1 into 2, which would be 2, and oxygen is 1, so the mass for oxygen is 16. It would be 32. It would be 30. When we total it would be 30. These mass are taken from the periodic table, and periodic table would be given in P1 and P2. Step 2, use the formula I told you previously, which is moles equals to MR, which is given in the question, divided by empirical formula mass. Now, the empirical formula mass was 30, and the molecular mass was given in the question, which is 180. Molecular mass of the compound X is 180. So it is like 180 divided by 30, 0, 0 cancel, 1 and 6. So the moles you find out is 6. Now what you have to do is to multiply 6 by the empirical formula, and the empirical formula was CH2O, which was given in part A. When you multiply it, so we get C6H12 and O6, and this is the formula for the glucose. You shouldn't write that this is the formula for glucose, but I'm telling you that this is the formula for glucose, and the above empirical formula, this is the empirical formula of glucose, and this one is the molecular formula of glucose, and this is empirical formula. I hope you understood how to calculate or how to find the molecular formula.